Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to 428 Shibuya Scramble. Oh my god. I am so sorry for the delay. If you guys didn't see in the chat, for whatever reason, Steam decided to force me to re-download the game. I checked, my save file is still there, thank God. I have no idea why it did that. Oh, God. Give me a fucking heart attack for a while there. Oh, God. Anyway. Hello, Void Dweller, Mystery Theater. Zarmegas. Chi. And Owe. Welcome back to 428 Shibuya Scramble. Last time. Oh, we have some super epic boss confrontations. Oh my god, and we've now unlocked Tateno, and we're gonna unlock Stanley, and we got new characters to play as. Like, oh my god. Woo! That's incredible, but I think we already did as much as we can for Stanley right now. Let's go back. And I mean Tateno, oh wow, he's on the look, he's on the character select screen. Okay, so I believe now what we have to do, Achi is still checked out. Let's get back to Kano. Yes, it made my heart jump. How has his fate changed? Oh, God. Jeez.
I'll leave the rest to you.
Tateno took one last long look over his shoulder before leaving the workroom. Even after Tateno disappeared from view, Kano remained for a long time at attention, his fingertips pressed to his temple. He squeezed his eyes shut, but still the tears he'd been holding back poured down his cheeks. There were only 30 minutes remaining until the time when Alphard had told them Hitomi should be at the Scramble. They needed to get ready for action.
Is the surveillance camera system still up?
Kano asked.
Yes,
Daisuke replied.
It looks like what happened earlier was just a temporary hacking job. Then will you help us?
Daisuke inclined his head.
What do you mean? I'd like you to keep your eye on the Scramble for us. If anyone suspicious tries to get near Hitomi, let us know. Anyone suspicious? How will I know what's suspicious? Like that organ trafficker who suggested you kidnapped Hitomi, Mr. Endo. It's possible that he might be Alphard. Would you be able to recognize his face?
Daisuke furrowed his brow deeply as he began entering commands on his keyboard.
Yeah, don't think I could ever forget. It's because of him that I...
He left the rest unsaid. A moment later, several of the monitors switched over to feeds from around Scramble.
All right.
Daisuke squinted at the images.
I'm not sure how much help I can be, but let me at least try to atone for what I've done. Of course, and thank you.
Daisuke's fingers flew over the keyboard, and soon all of the monitors were focused on the Scramble and its surroundings. Then he carefully adjusted the angle and zoom for each of the cameras. Now the whole area was under total surveillance. All they had to do was get their stakeout crew to the scene.
Where did Achi go?
Kano asked Hitomi. I'm not totally sure. but I think he went to find some of his old friends. Hitomi sounded worried.
Friends?
Ahhhhhh used to belong to a gang called SOS. Actually, he told me he was the one who formed the gang in the first place.
What?
Kano couldn't keep the shock from his own voice. Ahhhhh was the founder of SOS? How bizarre that the two of them wound up meeting each other this way. But I guess there was a big falling out between them. So I think he went to try and win them back over. Kano hadn't heard anything good about SOS since Ahhhhh had left them. If things had ended on bad terms between him and the gang, getting them to help might be a lost cause. And even if Ahhhhh was able to gather some people up, how much would Kano and the others be able to trust them? Jun-chan, woo! Welcome to the stream. It'll be alright, Hitomi said, as if sensing Kano's thoughts. I'm sure Ahhhhh will bring back some of his old friends. And when he does bring them, I'm sure he'll choose people we can count on.
You really trust him, don't you?
Yes, Hitomi said without hesitation. Then a blush came to her cheeks. Ah, she likes him too. Yes.
All right, then I'll trust him too.
It would take about 10 minutes to get from Endo Electronics to the Scramble. Kano turned to Stanley.
Let's plan to head out by 6:50.
Stanley gave no reply. He had withdrawn to the edge of the room, where he stood lost in thought, his expression uneasy. Kano decided to leave him alone for a bit. Taking a sheet of paper from one of the desks, he began drafting a plan for positioning Ahhhh's reinforcements around the Scramble.
All right, there we go.
In about 5 minutes, he had drawn up a little map of the optimal places to deploy the team. It included positions for as many as 20 people Ahhhhh might bring back.
Kano?
Kano turned around, surprised to find Stanley right behind him all of a sudden. The American looked haggard.
Is something the matter?
Kano asked.
Y'all need to go to the Scramble without me. What? Where's this coming from all of a sudden? Please, don't ask me to explain. Something else has come up and I have to see to it.
Sweat beaded on Stanley's brow. Whatever had happened, Kano had no doubt it was something major. And almost certainly it had something to do with Alphard.
Stanley?
Kano said. Dan, these two might be different.
I understand. Do what you have to and come back soon. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you more. It's all right. I'll find a way to get by.
Kano had a vague idea of what Stanley was up to. He probably felt he needed to keep things hidden even from his own allies in order to help keep Alphard in the dark. Or at least that was Kano's guess. This was no ordinary opponent they were up against. Keeping secrets even among friends wasn't necessarily a bad call.
Kano, promise me one thing. What's that? Once this is all over, you'll go have a beer with me. Sure. All right.
Kano couldn't help but smile.
That's a promise now, remember?
Here we go. Now we can switch to Stanley. Now it unlocks. Woo! Let's start Stanley. Brand new branch. It was 6:00 p.m. Alphard had contacted the motley team at Endo Electronics, and the situation had immediately deteriorated. But the new developments had also provided them with one big chance. A chance that Alphard might appear in person at long last. Yep, he's gonna work with Kanan and stuff in the showdown with Alphard.
You did fine, son.
Jack Stanley set his hand down on Connor's shoulder. A weak smile came to the detective's face. Stanley paused, unexpectedly moved. Hello, Hollow Mirage. Welcome to the stream. For that one moment, he saw in Connor the image of his younger brother, Frank. Oh, wow. Wow, he has a brother. Oh, I think you talked about him before.
Jack, you have to get everyone to a safe place right away.
Frank's nervous shout echoed throughout the hotel lobby. Stanley's younger brother was a member of the Bomb and Arson Squad, subsection of the Chicago Police Department's Bureau of Investigative Services, BIS, that handles investigations of bomb and arson-related cases. This was 2 years ago. The CIA had obtained intel that Alphard was targeting a high-class hotel in Chicago for a terror attack. Stanley and his team had searched the hotel interior and discovered the bomb set inside a large planter. When Frank arrived at the scene and saw the explosive, his expression grew grim.
Detonation trigger is set in the worst possible place. It's gonna be a bastard to remove it. In that case, you need to get out of here too, Frank.
Stanley said.
No, I just need to make sure I can figure out how this thing is set up, so the disposal unit knows what to do when they get here.
Ji-chan, you've never read the Death Note novel. That's legendary for having the worst fake American names ever. Jack and Frank Stanley are actually names that are actually possible for someone to have. In the Death Note novel, like, their fake American names are so ridiculous. Like, you could even tell in, like, Death Note proper, they had the stupidest possible American names. Like, you could tell they're so fucking fake. But Frank and Jack Stanley are actual, like, are like perfect American names. Like, yes, I am an American. Names, like, compared to the ones from, I mean, for Metal Gear, you could see their code names. Anyway, let's get back to the story.
Nah, I need to make sure I can figure out how this thing is set up, so the disposal unit knows what to do when they get here. I'll be alright. Look, y'all can probably see it from back there.
Yes, Mystery Theater knows. Beyond Birthday, Quarter Queen, and something else. Ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Death Note also came up with Quillish Whammy being someone's actual name. It's like, jeez. Stanley could indeed see the small explosive from where he stood. It was held in place by several screws. The timer had just ticked down past the 30-minute mark.
There's plenty of time left for the disposal guys to get here. Jack, I need you to help finish evacuating the building. There are a lot of people who haven't gotten out yet. But
Stanley hesitated. From a cold and logical perspective, Frank was right. He had a job to do, and if Stanley listened to his personal feelings and tried to usher his brother out of there, a lot of innocent people might die.
All right,
He said.
I understand. Heck, if we had something to simulate dry ice, we could freeze this thing.
Frank grimaced as he eyed the bomb.
Dry ice, huh? I don't suppose ice cream would do the trick. That'd be a waste of ice cream. You'd be better off just eating it.
Of course, even dry ice would be a long shot in place of actual liquid nitrogen, yeah. We have 3 stages of freezing. We have the regular refrigerator, actually 4 stages. Refrigerator, freezer, dry ice, and liquid nitrogen freezing. The brothers looked at one another, and for a moment the tension dissolved into laughter.
All right,
Stanley said.
I'll be back. Hey, Jack. Once this is all tidied up, I'm gonna need a drink. Let's you and me have a beer together. Sure. You got it.
Stanley headed for the hotel lobby, which was still overflowing with guests.
You made the right choice here.
Stanley gave Kanan a thump on the back, and the detective cracked a tiny grin.
What about my choices, though?
Debating his own next move, Stanley stepped away from the others and took out his cell phone. He made a call to his superior, Gordon.
It's me.
He said.
What's the situation?
I hear the Japanese police wants to put Maria Osawa under quarantine. I'm assuming that's on your order, sir.
It is. There are too many important people in Shibuya. We can't allow that virus loose. Besides, we now know that our father is after Hitomi Osawa. There's no reason to leave Maria at large any longer.
If y'all put Maria Osawa under quarantine, she is gonna die.
I know that. But there will be far fewer victims as a result.
Gordon's words made something inside Stanley snap. In that moment, he lost any inclination to report that he was with Maria. Damn, he is actually super cool. See, this is really cool subversion. I love what they've done with Stanley's character. Failure to do so would be dereliction of duty on his part. He knew that well enough, and I don't think she's even still there. Didn't she leave with Tateno and Kanan? He knew that well enough. He knew it, but the fact couldn't overcome his revulsion at Gordon's callous attitude towards Maria. Mario, whatever.
Victims are still victims,
He said.
What was that?
Nothing, sir. I'll continue my operation to apprehend Alfard.
Stanley hung up the phone.
Bastard.
He didn't care if his superiors took action against him once this was all over. They intended to sacrifice one person in order to save the lives of countless more. From a purely objective standpoint, it was the right call. But what if that person was a loved one? What would they have done then? The dilemma gnawed at the back of Stanley's mind. He couldn't shake the feeling that it was wrong to just accept the lesser of two evils, to sacrifice an innocent for the greater good.
No, damn it.
He would save that one life and then save the lives of the many. He needed to find a way to avoid the so-called easy way out, no matter what it took. He was not about to add a second big regret to his life. Oh, God. Not this time. Saving Maria was the right thing to do. His judgment wasn't wrong. Of that he was sure. Hello, Eblis. Welcome to the stream. Yep, it looks like you missed the flashback. Kanan was watching Tateno prepare to depart. Oh, this was before they left. The group had put together a reasonable plan of action. Tateno and Kanan would head to the lab with Maria and attempt to get the antiviral for her. Stanley would accompany Kano and the others to the Scramble to apprehend Alphard. It was a two-pronged plan of attack. Still, could they really count on things going as smoothly as Kanan had suggested? Stanley thought back on her earlier words. Once Alphard has made contact with the Tomi, call my cell phone. I have plenty of information Alphard might want to bargain for. I can negotiate with him directly. That meant that getting the password hinged on whatever deal they struck. What sort of things might Alphard request in exchange? She used to work with Alphard, didn't she? They must have worked together at some point and they had a falling out. Stanley cast a thoughtful look at Kanan. She was helping Tateno to carry Maria out of the room. Stanley doubted she'd answer if he asked just what her bargaining chips were. He held his tongue, watching as she left with the others. Whatever else happening to focus on capturing Alphard. He glanced at the monitor displays in the workroom. The disembodied sound of Alphard's voice from earlier crept back into his mind. Ooh, oh my god. So this is one thing I noticed last time that I didn't mention was that Palmer never said he was Alphard. So I'm going to bet that's going to be a big plot twist. There's no way Alphard is Palmer. I'm calling that as, like, there's no, he specifically avoided mentioning that he was Alphard. And he's clearly a red herring. I know that I said that before, but this time I'm fairly certain.
I will appear at the rendezvous in person. After all, it wouldn't do for the star of the show to miss the final curtain.
Those words notwithstanding, it seemed absurd that Alphard would actually show up in the flesh. Nationality, age, sex, so much about the terrorist mastermind was shrouded in mystery. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. My ship! Oh no! It's gonna be Kanan, isn't it? They kept referring to Alphard as a he, but now they say they don't know. Oh no. Oh no. I hope that's not true. I really hope I'm wrong. Oh god, that's gonna be a twist, isn't it? Oh no, I really hope it's not Kanan. Oh god, no, my ship is gonna crash and burn. You guys are waiting for this, aren't you? Oh no. It's Jet Guy's daughter. Hilarious, Juchon. Oh no! God damn it! Oh! That's heartbreaking. Fuck. Oh, God. She would be the obvious choice, wouldn't she, if you looked at it objectively? They kept... Oh, God. They kept referring to Alphard as a dude. Like, they literally said he several times. But, of course, in Japanese, you can get around of that. Oh, God. Fuckleberry Hound! Ugh. Oh, no. Fucking fuck. Oh, God damn it! I really hope I'm wrong. Why would someone who had hidden so well for so long ever reveal their true identity? And yet Alphard had gone out of their way to claim that was precisely what was about to happen. Oh no! Oh no! It almost seemed like he'd made turning up in person a major selling point of the deal.
I'm looking forward to meeting all of you then.
Oh no. Oh no! There was no doubt about it. Alphard had wanted them to expect him on site and in person. See, that they refer to Alphard as him all the fucking time. So, why would that be?
He's using himself as bait.
See, they constantly refer to Alphard as he, even though then he just, for no reason, by the way. Fucking hell. Just to confuse us.
He's using himself as bait to lure me and Kanan out. It's a near perfect opportunity to wipe out the two people who are gunning for him the most. That being the case, how might he attempt to kill me once I'm at the Scramble?
And you know what? There's a silver lining to this. Maybe, you know, Alphard / Kanan, if they're the same person, is like a crazy yandere. And they still like Maria a lot. Who knows? And there was their plan to get... Oh, God. No, but think about it, Chishan. Who else could it possibly be? No, they're doing the whole he thing to confuse us. Oh, no. I'm not 100% certain. I hope I'm wrong. But, you know, I'd love it for it to be Sasayama. I'd love it for it to be Sasayama. But, oh God, but no, this is too big of a twist. If it's true, oh God, that would be absolutely heartbreaking. Oh God, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Stanley felt a sudden flash of insight. No, something was off here. His thought process was running well, each deduction logically following from the last. But at a time like this, that could be a very dangerous thing. Alphard may well have anticipated where his logic would lead. Stanley needed to assume that any clue he thought he'd found was something Alphard had left behind on purpose. So maybe the suggestion that their target would come to the scene was a different kind of trap. At the risk of sending himself in circles, Stanley decided to rethink the whole case from the ground up. Here we go. Closing argument. Do 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 do. Well, Kanan's objective with the plan would be to blow up everyone in the square with evidence. Meanwhile, she's like out of trouble, and with Maria, she's out of trouble, and she's going to get the antivirus. Again, there's holes in it for sure, but I'm so betting they're using the whole pronoun thing as a red herring to make you think Alphard is a dude. I didn't realize the sex was unknown. And they deliberately fool you with that too, because they constantly refer to Alphard as he. What was the single strangest part of this whole thing?
There we go.
Why'd Alphard put an amateur like Daisuke Endo in charge of the kidnapping? Is it Endo? Could be him, who knows? No, it couldn't be him. Sure, being able to get a heart for his daughter gave Daisuke a strong incentive. But there still had to be a reason why he'd been chosen. If the kidnapping had failed, what would have happened then? Of course, this was Alphard they were dealing with. Maybe the possibility of failure was somehow part of the plan. Hell, Daisuke had managed to accidentally kidnap Maria instead of Atomi, hadn't he? If Alphard had gone with a professional, that sort of mix-up would never have happened. Hello, Donnie. Welcome to the streams. And yet, even if that degree of uncertainty was acceptable, or even desirable, using Daisuke seemed to be, like, far too big of a risk.
There must be some other motive for bringing in Daisuke into the plan.
Of course. Advantage. Using Daisuke must have provided some important advantage that outweighs his flaws because he's in charge of the whole camera network. It's the only thing that made sense. Which meant the reason Alphard had Daisuke carry out the kidnapping was... Oh god, this is the freaking oh god. This is the Danganronpa part of the freaking Let's Play. Oh my god. Fuck. Okay. I'm gonna do several assumptions. Whether it's Kanan or Sasayama. Or someone else, I don't know. They definitely used it I think, basically to create an alibi because they were doing something else at the time. So I think it's to create an alibi, yeah. To create an alibi. Even if Daisuke failed as he had and got caught up in the kidnapping investigation, Alphard himself could stay out of the picture. The police wouldn't have any reason to suspect Alphard in the first place. But then why would someone whose very identity was so shrouded in mystery need to construct an alibi at all? Oh, god damn it. No! Wrong choice. Stanley felt he was right back where he started. If Maria had been mistaken for Atomi in the first place, the situation wouldn't have become nearly so complicated. Unless it wasn't a mistake at all, for some reason. What if I'm overthinking the whole... What if we're thinking that it was a mistake is actually wrong? And what if she actually wanted Maria? Because... maybe she really is in love with Maria. I don't know. It's my fucking hope, you guys. I solved Omineko through shipping, and damn it, I'm gonna solve 428 through shipping as well. Okay, so you know what? I'm sticking with my gut. I'm gonna say that it's Kanan. Because this always happens to me. Let's say it wasn't actually a mistake, but she took Maria on purpose because through Kanan, I don't know. Well, Kanan is Alphard, maybe. she might have met. I didn't say anyone's name is Mystery Theater. Yes, Pink Truth. Oh my god. It's yes, Higurashi Go as well. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm gonna say that. You know what? Let's do it. I'm gonna follow the logic that made me solve Umineko. I think that she actually wanted Maria. It wasn't a mistake. That was the thing that really made him wonder. Daisuke may have been an amateur, but would he really made such a rudimentary mistake when his daughter's life was on the line? Stanley decided to take it up with the man himself.
Mr. Endo, let me ask you something. Did y'all know Tomi had a twin sister before the kidnapping? I didn't know. So when the hell did you find out? After I'd had Maria kidnapped. The organ trafficker took one look at her and said I had the wrong girl. Said I was supposed to have abducted the younger one. Now, he never mentioned Tomi having a twin sister before this all started. No, if I'd known, I'd been a lot more careful.
Yeah, no, she totally did this on purpose. No, I'm gonna go with my shipping instinct. It's solved mysteries before. Alphard had certainly known that the Osawa girls were twins, but despite the added risk that the fact implied, he hadn't told Daisuke. There was only one logical conclusion. Daisuke's mistake hadn't been an accident. Oh! Alphard had intended for the wrong sister to get kidnapped. Break! By using an amateur, Alphard had set up the police to write off Daisuke's kidnapping of the wrong target as a simple misstep. Had Daisuke been brought in simply in the name of camouflage? But why? Alphard was after Hitomi's blood. Daisuke was after Hitomi's heart. They both wanted the same thing. So why target Maria instead? Because Alphard is Kanan and she's in love with Maria. Stanley's train of logic had run out of steam again. Still, he was sure he was on the right track. He just needed to keep following on until he found out where that track would lead. Changing themes right now.
Where's the storeroom where you were keeping Maria?
He asked. Daisuke hung his head.
It's out behind the shop. Why do you ask? Would you mind showing me? There's something I'd like to check.
At this point, he needed to go back over everything right from the beginning. He followed Daisuke out to the storeroom. Kanan is doing this to get back at Osawa for mistreating Maria. Because Kanan / Alphard is in love with Maria and is also kind of a psycho and is doing this to get revenge for the girl that she loves. Calling it! Going with my shipping instinct. He followed Daisuke out to the storeroom.
Speaking of this storeroom,
Daisuke said as they were walking to the back of the building.
there's something I've been wondering about. Just how did Maria manage to escape in the first place?
Yes, the door was left open.
You're certain you locked her in?
But she was let out by Alpharad / Kanan. Okay, Stanley asked. Daisuke nodded.
Early in the morning, the organ trafficker came by to check up on her. I made sure to lock the place back up after he left.
And she used Palmer as her patsy.
I see. That visit must have been when Maria was injected with the UA virus. Makes sense, based on our working timeline and when we expect her to go symptomatic.
When they got to the storeroom, they spotted the padlock that had held it shut lying broken on the ground. Evlis, you remember Umineko, right? It's not that big of a stretch. Yeah, no, she's calling it. Kanan / Alphard is a fucking yandere as hell for Maria. And that's why she came all the way from the Middle East to Japan to do all this bullshit. Like, think about it. Like, why would she, a Middle Eastern terrorist, randomly come here to Japan besides, like, she probably found out about the father's virus work pretty simply and probably hatched a plan from that. I'm going for it. I'm going to use, my shipping instinct has not failed me before in terms of finding culprits. When they got to the storeroom, they spotted the padlock that had been held shut and lying broken on the ground. Daisuke picked it up, then opened the storeroom door.
Oh, look at this mess.
It was obvious immediately that merchandise had been stolen.
I doubt Maria did this.
Daisuke said.
Maybe some thieves broke in?
He made a quick inspection, assessing what had been taken. Some digital cameras and laptop computers were missing.
This looks like some work of some local thugs.
Oh, that's him saying that.
This looks like the work of some local thugs. This kind of thing had happened to me a few times before.
Daisuke let out a sigh of exasperation. Stanley, meanwhile, was carefully looking around inside the storeroom.
Where did you have Maria Osawa?
He asked.
Behind those cardboard boxes.
The boxes he indicated were piled high, closing off one corner of the room. If Maria were unconscious behind them, the burglars might well have never noticed her.
So Maria was able to escape from the storeroom thanks to the burglars breaking the lock.
Stanley mused. Just what impact had that stroke of misfortune had on Alphard's plan, he wondered. It probably wasn't a misfortune at all, because Alphard / Kanan maybe is a fucking crazy genius yandere. What did Alphard plan to do with Maria if nobody had broken in? Nah, he would never kill her. He was gonna release her at some later time. Since he's gone to the trouble of infecting her with the virus, it only made sense. And Stanley could only think of one reason to release an infected Maria. To turn Shibuya into ground fucking zero for a pandemic that would sweep through all of Tokyo. A virus with a mortality rate of 100% would have spread throughout the region before anyone realized it. It would be impossible to calculate the scope of such a disaster. First, he would run circuit around the Yamanote line, and then if any of the infected happened to happen at the airports at either Haneda or Narita, the virus would spread throughout Japan and the rest of the world in a matter of hours! But that hadn't come to pass. They'd managed to secure Maria before she could develop symptoms and became infectious.
Is that because we were better than Alphard?
No way!
No, that can't be it.
Alphard wasn't the sort to commit such indiscriminate acts of terror. The threat of the infection spreading, horrific as it was likely just to cover to hide some other scheme. But then what was the ultimate goal? Stanley still didn't have enough clues to go on. Oh my god, we're literally doing this. We're doing this right now, you guys! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! Stanley made his way behind the stack of cardboard boxes. He spotted something that had fallen on the floor. It was a cell phone. Next to it was a woman's handbag. Stanley unzipped it, held a jumble of makeup, tissues, and other personal effects, but nothing at all unusual. This is probably Maria's phone. If it was going to find any clues here, it would probably have to be from the cell phone. He tried turning it on. There was no response. It's probably had batteries out. But that's a flip phone. The battery should last like a full week. It appeared to be broken.
Let me see that.
Daisuke said from behind him.
I'll see if I can fix it. Do you think you can?
Stanley asked as he handed it over.
I won't know until I try. But that sign up front saying I run electronic shops isn't just for show.
Yeah, they're at the right place for this. Turning his attention back to the handbag, Stanley searched for it more thoroughly and found a photograph tucked inside that he overlooked on his first inspection!
What the hell?
He stared at the image, swallowing the lump in his throat. Fuck you! Fuck you! No! 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 Come on! No! No! Why? Ah! Oh, God! Ah! Ahhhhhh can still go, and so can Kano. Oh, God. And Tateno as well. We have 3 people we can do. Fucking hell. Fuck. Tateno is the most far behind. Oh. God damn it! Tateno's phone rang and he picked up as he sped onward.
Were you able to break through safely?
Oh, Kajiwara.
Were you able to break through safely?
It was the voice of Detective Kajiwara. Tateno thought he was at the Osawa residence.
Patrol.
The patrol car now. That was you?
A call came in from Task Force HQ, saying that Kano had found Maria. I figured.
I did, Eblis.
Maybe Kano was planning to take her to the Oshoshi pharmaceutical. And so I thought he'd need to make his way through one of the checkpoints here.
Yeah, there was another jump, but it was at the very end of Kano's.
But the fact that it was you, Detective Tateno. Ha ha ha. Now that was quite unexpected.
He let out a weak chuckle.
Kajiwara, are you hurt?
Oh, yeah, that's right, this happened.
No, don't worry about me. Just, please, help Maria. I made a promise to her father that I'd save his daughter, no matter what.
Tateno could hear the energy draining from Kajiwara's voice.
Understood. I'll keep that promise for you then.
Thank you.
The line went dead. He'd crashed headlong through the barricade. There was no way to come out of that uninjured.
I'm sorry, Kajiwara.
Tateno said to himself under his breath.
And thank you.
He bit his lip, then stepped hard on the gas again. Oh, why did they even give this back to me if they were just going to keep me out at the same place? Fucking hell. Okay. Kano and Ahhhhhh. Okay, back at this dance again. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Alright, let's go with Kano so we can get that jump to Stanley.
Susumu!
The shout had come from Achi. In an instant, a dozen members of SOS headed towards Palmer from all sides.
Tough luck, pal.
Susumu said.
Turns out we're not actually innocent bystanders. No,
Now it was his turn to grin.
you're completely surrounded. Give up until this appears word now. Just for the record, we ain't scared of no virus.
Tough-looking young men radiated bravado. Interesting, they don't call them toughs. It's such a weird terminology. Without hesitation, they closed in around the kidnapper.
Surrounded. You certainly don't look like police.
Palmer cast a bemused glance around himself.
You're right about that.
Achi said.
I mean, just take a look. I gathered up a bunch of people who love Shibuya more than their own lives in order to take your ass down.
He kept Hitomi shielded behind him while he spoke.
There's no escape!
He declared.
You've lost!
Lost. Me.
Well, it sure doesn't look like you're gonna get away.
Palmer grimaced at Achi's words.
I see. Then it appears our negotiations are at a close.
Enough of that high and mighty act.
Susumu stomped aggressively towards Palmer.
Hey!
Kanan snapped.
Easy now.
They couldn't risk a scuffle, sending the virus clashing to the ground.
What a shame.
Palmer swung his right arm up high. Yep, this is happening again. We'll get that Stanley jump. Everyone watched in dismay as his hand shot up. The vials he'd been holding sailed upward against the backdrop of the evening sky.
Look out!
Achi shouted.
Catch him! Catch him!
The hurtling vials scattered and began to fall. It seemed impossible that Kanan's team would be able to keep them all from shattering against the ground. The SOS members fanned out, positioning themselves as best they could in order to accept the falling vials. Kanan likewise prepared to catch one that was heading straight toward him. As he did, he caught sight of Palmer speeding away. Kanan made up his mind on the spot. There was only one right call here, and he needed to make it. Yeah, this is new. I'm gonna say he had to protect the lives of the people nearby. As much as he wanted to apprehend this criminal, he couldn't sacrifice innocent people to do it. Kanan caught one of the vials deftly in both hands. Woo! But there's more of them. Carefully, he examined it for damage. Seeing that the vial didn't appear broken, he let out a sigh of relief. Then he looked around for Palmer, but there was no sign of him.
Damn it!
The mastermind had gotten away. Vanished without a trace. Interesting, no bomb. Amidst the frantic crowd of the Scramble, a lone criminal could blend in an instant, becoming just another pedestrian. Well, I don't think a foreigner would be able to do that as easily. Trying to find him now would probably be a hopeless endeavor. Oh, bad end. Interesting. Number 66, failed capture. Alright, let me see what happens if I chase after Palmer then. Wait, is Palmer really Alphard? Or is that just from Kanan's perspective? He had to chase after Palmer. Yeah, what specific action stopped the bomb from going off? He had to chase after him. It didn't matter if he didn't grab the vial. Something about the way this was playing out made Kanan sure of it. Calling upon all his rugby training, he broke out into a sprint. Deftly dodging through the crowd, Kano kept Palmer in sight. I love this OST. He would catch him, one way or another. He was gonna bring this bastard down. Still, he gained up on his quarry. At last, he drew within striking range and immediately dived into an expert tackle. He caught Palmer around the waist. Their bodies collided with violent force. Palmer went down flailing and hit the pavement hard. Even then, he tried to resist, but Kano straddled him and held him down.
Tell me the password!
Kano snarled. The kidnapper sneered triumphantly.
You made the wrong choice. Wrong choice? The UA is out now. Now nobody can be saved. You've just killed everyone in the city. No,
Kano shot back.
nobody's going to die. And what makes you so sure of that? The way you fled the scene just now, if the virus had really been in those vials, you could never have hoped to escape infection. Running off on foot would be pointless.
Palmer said nothing.
Which means there was no virus in those vials. They were just a decoy in order to buy you time to escape.
Exactly! Because of the bomb would be what killed everybody. Now Palmer gritted his teeth and glared up at Kano. The look on his face confirmed the detective's hunch.
But more importantly, it was your eyes. You didn't have the eyes of a man who was putting his life on the line. My eyes. Who do you think you are, Sherlock Holmes? I know full well the look in a man's eyes when he's willing to die. Thank you, Tateno.
In the back of his mind, Kano replayed the moment where Tateno doused in gasoline. I'd marched into that financial office to talk down a would-be arsonist.
Now then, the password. Give it to me now.
Kano tightened his grip on Palmer's collar, but the man just gazed back at him with an icy glare.
Let me have it, Tommy. Oh,
Him saying,
let me have it, Tommy Osama's blood. That was our original deal.
Kano wasn't surprised. He'd known it wouldn't be easy to get him talk. Maybe it really would be impossible to strike a deal without Kanan. But if getting her on the phone wasn't an option, Kano had to figure out something else. Sweat beaded on his brow as he cast about for ideas. Then he happened to catch sight of his car that had been overturned by an accident nearby. Aya Kamiki in the background. Oh no. Is that the explosion? Gasoline spilled from the vehicle, creating a broad dark puddle on the pavement. Connor took out his handcuffs and cuffed Palmer's arm to his own.
come with me.
Jerking his captive back to his feet, Connor led him over to the car. Oh my god! He's gonna pull a Tateno! Then, without hesitation, he sat down in the pool of gasoline. Yanking on the handcuffs, he pulled Palmer down beside him. Oh my god! Oh my god! Connor pulled a lighter from his pocket. Palmer snorted.
And just what's this supposed to be? Tell me the password. Or else what? You'll light up the gas. You'll be burned to a crisp yourself. Yes? Probably.
Connor heard the casual desperation in his own voice.
What the hell are you thinking?
The smile vanished from Palmer's face. Connor scowled down at him. Oh my god, this story is fucking amazing. Let's see. We want to intimidate him, right? So, let's say this.
I'm getting revenge for my partner.
Kano thought back to the sight of Sasayama sprawled out and bleeding on the pavement. Thanks to this man's scheme, his partner was now teetering on the brink of death. Alphard should pay for that. Calmly, Kano flicked the letter on.
You can't be serious.
Palmer's eyes fixed on the tiny flicker of flame.
The password. You value your life so little. The password!
In his mind, Kano could see pages of the Dick Diary clear as day.
Dick dictum number 1. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. Ever.
My god! Kano! Whoa! Palmer glared in defiance. Oh my god, Jishan, you and I are thinking the same fucking thing. Kano brought the lighter closer and closer to the gasoline. He could practically feel his own life growing short as his hand descended. And yet he felt no trace of fear. His body was numb, his senses strangely distant. Time seemed to slow. The world around him dissolved into a blur. He was surprised at how calm, how remote he felt, here in the midst of this life-or-death confrontation. And then far in the depth of Palmer's eyes, he saw the barest hint of doubt. He fixed his gaze on that point of weakness and did not look away. Palmer's shoulders slumped perceptively. Now Kano was certain of it. This was a man who'd never put his life on the line before. Shizuo's words sounded in the back of his mind.
You need a cool mind, but a fiery spirit. A detective without both of those is worth nothing.
This is an action hero tier scene. Absolutely. Oh my god. This is amazing.
Let me go! Promise to let me go, and I'll tell you! Is that your answer? I don't think you quite understand the situation here.
Kano brought the flame still closer to the gasoline. Palmer's eyes went wide. No longer was he able to hide his trembling uncertainty.
All right, I'll tell you, and just put that thing out! The password first.
His voice in a strangled snarl, Palmer gave him the password. Kano extinguished the lighter. What is the password? He's calling somebody with it. Kano pulled out his cell phone. Kano dialed Osawa. As he recalled his last exchange with Stanley at the electronics shop. Let's go! Woo! Yes! Oh my fucking god! Yeah, Kano, his name should be fucking Kino. Oh my god! Let's get back to Stanley. Turning his attention back to the handbag, Stanley searched it more thoroughly and found a photograph tucked inside that he'd overlooked on his first inspection.
What the hell?
He stared at the picture, swallowing his love in his throat. It was a photo of Maria standing next to another young girl! There was something written in marker in the back! Me and Kanan, 7:30. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! It's true, sadly! Oh my god, it's gonna be Kanan, isn't it? Oh! Stanley hurriedly flipped the photo back over and looked at it again.
What does this mean?
The girl in the photo with Maria looked nothing like... Kanan who'd been there under electronics, who had left with Maria and Tateno just a few minutes ago? What? But if the girl they were working with wasn't Kanan, then who was she? No. No, no, no. Oh, no. Wait a minute. Wait, what? Stanley felt his blood run cold. Wait, there's 2 Kanans! Okay, so I actually wasn't right, but... Could she be? Was she Alphard? The more we thought about it, the more it all added up. Wait, what? Assuming Alphard was masquerading as Kanan, the whole sequence of events suddenly began to make sense. She was strikingly audacious and... Then where's the... Wait, so where's the real Kanan? Oh my god. What? Oh my god. And fiendishly clever. But she had not maneuvered them just yet. As luck would have it, they still had a chance to stop her. At long last, Stanley could see the outline of Alphard's plan. Oh my god. Her goal was to get the antiviral. But extracting the DDS from Hitomi's blood wasn't enough. Okoshi Pharmaceuticals still had the drug at their laboratory. Oh my god. Okoshi Pharmaceuticals still had the drug at their laboratory. The antiviral's value came specifically from having a monopoly on it. Oh my god. Which meant that in addition to obtaining the drug herself, Alphard also needed to destroy Okoshi's research facilities. What the fuck? Where's the real Kanan? That was the crux of her plan. The problem was finding a way to infiltrate those facilities. In all likelihood, Alphard's scheme went something like this. Have Maria Osawa kidnapped, then infected with the UA virus. After that, eliminate Tanaka. Once Osawa learned that Maria had been infected with the virus, he was certain to use the antiviral on her. But he needed his partner Tanaka in order to access the storage facility, and Tanaka was dead. That was why Alphard had been masquerading as Kanan. Kanan was Maria's friend and an expert at hacking passwords. She could secure Osawa's trust. He let her into the research facility in order to carry out the hack. Oh my god, that is some insanitary misdirection. Oh my god. That's why Alphard, in the guise of Kanan, has saved Hitomi's life repeatedly. Getting Hitomi to trust her would likewise earn the trust of her father. There were still some finer details that remained a mystery. For instance, how was Alphard going to destroy the lab? Still, Stanley could look into that one once he had her in custody. He needed to move quickly and stop her from ever getting into the Okoshi facility.
I fixed it.
Daisuke approached Stanley and held out Maria's cell phone.
Well, as best as I could at any rate. It looks like it'll get a signal, but whatever data was on it is all gone. I see.
Stanley took the phone and put it in his pocket. He'd hoped he might be able to learn something useful from it, but luck evidently wasn't on his side. He's just going to have to go up against Alphard with what he already had. Now that he guessed what was really going on, Stanley went to talk to Kano.
You need to go to the Scramble without me,
he said.
What?
Kano was visibly shocked.
Where's this coming from all of a sudden? Please, don't ask me to explain. Someone else will come up and I have to see to it.
We're getting back here now? What? Oh my god. Stanley hated having to do this. He wished he could explain everything. But if he made any unusual moves now, there was a risk that Alphard would pick up on it. It was better to keep his companions in the dark just in case.
I understand,
Connor said.
do what you have to do and come back soon. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you more. It's all right. I'll find a way to get by.
Kano gave him the thumbs up. The sight brought back some painful memories. Up until a few hours ago, Stanley had instinctively seen Kano as all too naive. But then why did that guy that was killed, like those guys who were doing all the handoffs, why did they say Kanan? And now he finally knew why. Kano was just like his younger brother, Frank. They might have looked very different, but the way they mixed up... Oh my god, he's such a dork! But in a cute way. But in the way they mixed up their responsibilities with their personal feelings, they were totally alike. Stanley couldn't discount that naivete. In the end, it was all part of the human condition.
Jack, are you really okay with this?
Frank cast an anxious look at his older brother as they made their way onto the University of Chicago. A private university in Chicago, Illinois, lauded as one of the foremost research institutions in the U.S. More than 90 alumni have been awarded the Nobel Prize. The school has made a number of major contributions to the world beyond simple academics, including the construction of the world's first artificial nuclear reactor, Chicago Pile 1, and the Chicago School of Economics, a school of economic thought that stresses monetarism.
It's my responsibility to look after you,
Stanley told him. That was an insane twist. Oh my god! My head is spinning.
As long as you take your studying seriously, I'm all for it.
Frank had been worrying about tuition costs as he prepared for college. After losing their parents 5 years earlier, the two had struggled to get by.
Yeah, but...
Stanley set both hands on his brother's shoulders.
Listen to me, Frank. You're my brother. Now I care about you. I just want whatever you do to be something you can be proud of. All right, Jack. I hear you.
And thanks.
Kano, promise me one thing.
What's that?
Once this is all over, go have a beer with me.
Sure, all right.
As a promise now, remember?
Kano flashed him a grateful smile. And in that smile, Stanley again saw a little something of Frank. Hurrying out of Endo Electronics, Stanley dialed up to Tateno as he rang along. Oh boy. Oh boy. Once they made it past Shibuya Station, the roads were relatively clear. They ought to make it to the lab in no time. Oh boy. And there she is looking all evil in the background. The phone rang again. It was Stanley,
What's going on?
asked the American.
Listen carefully. Your life may depend on it. And ask some questions. If the answer is yes,
Oh, he asked the American. I was gonna wonder. Let's see. Sorry.
what's going on? Listen carefully. Your life may depend on it. I'm going to ask you some questions. The answer is yes, say that's right. If it's no, reply with will do.
For a moment, Tateno was bewildered. From the urgency in Stanley's voice, however, he realized there was some kind of emergency.
That's right.
He said after a moment's thought. That ought to let Stanley know they understood the code.
It's Kanan with you now. That's right. That Kanan is an imposter.
Tateno gripped his phone more tightly, hoping it would stop the trembling in his hand.
It's her.
Stanley said.
She's Alphard.
Da. Oh my god. The detective had to stifle a gasp of alarm.
I don't have time to fill you in on the details, but I got some pretty incontrovertible evidence. You'll need to turn back, now.
Tateno struggled to come to terms with what he'd just heard. He'd glanced at Kanan through the rearview mirror. She was holding Maria tightly in her arms. Oh god, you faker! Was this really all an act on her part? Pretending to be, oh god. And if so, why? There was only one possible reason. If Kanan really was Alphard, then she had only one goal. She was trying to help Maria in order to get to the lab. Where she would be able to steal the antiviral. But wait, hold on. Kanan was Maria's friend, wasn't she? Hitomi had said so as much herself. Kanan is my sister's friend. I mean, Higurashi, I didn't get any of the reasoning for it, but I knew who the culprit was pretty early on, but my reasoning for everything with Higurashi was completely wrong. Probably because the mystery in Higurashi had nothing to do with shipping. I can only solve a mystery if it relates to shipping somehow. Is apparently how things go. Maria certainly knew what her own friend looked like. Since it was obvious that Maria might be present, it didn't make sense for a clever imposter to pretend to be Kanan. Or did it? When Kanan showed up on the roofs of South Hill, making a surprise attack on Tateno, Maria had taken off down the staircase without ever looking back. And when she turned up at the Endo Electronics workroom, Maria had already collapsed and fallen unconscious. That's insane. Tateno felt a chill spreading through his body. As far as he knew, Maria had never actually seen the girl who was now sitting in the back seat. But then what about Hitomi? Shouldn't she have known what Kanan looked like? Tateno tried to remember what Hitomi just said. Kanan is my sister's friend. I just met her for the first time today. If they'd never met each other before today, then maybe Hitomi didn't know what the real Kanan looked like. That was the only explanation that made sense.
Hey, Tateno. You all still with me?
Stanley sounded like he was on the verge of panic.
At any rate, you need to find a way to turn back without her realizing what's going on.
Even if Kanan really was Alphard, Tateno had to keep heading back towards the lab. He went over the coded responses in his head. Yes, was that right? No was will do.
Will do,
He said.
saving Maria is your top priority, isn't it? That's right.
Tateno affirmed.
All right then. Guess I'll have to head that way myself. In the meantime, do not let her inside this lab. That lab. That's right.
Tateno hung up. Who was that? Kanan asked. Tateno felt his heart skip a beat.
That was Kuze, that cop from earlier.
He tried to keep his voice as level as possible.
He was worried about us and wanted to check up.
Okay. Kanan muttered, sounding disinterested. Tateno could only hope she hadn't guessed the truth. It felt like the specter of death himself was breathing down his neck. At last, the minivan arrived at Okoshi Pharmaceutical. Tateno pulled up at the front gate and got out of the vehicle. Off to one side of the entrance was an intercom for contacting the security room.
I'm assuming you've already heard the details from the director.
Tateno barked into the intercom.
Open up.
We haven't heard anything from Director Osawa.
The security guard spat back.
And moreover, the laboratory is currently on lockdown. I'm sorry, but not even Director Osawa is allowed inside.
That's ridiculous.
Tateno scowled at the intercom in frustration. Oh, I bet that's Osawa's car. Then a car came racing towards him along the street. The sound, of screeching brakes filled the air as the vehicle skidded to a halt, and then Kenji Osawa jumped out from the driver's seat.
Maria!
Osawa rushed over to Tateno, then to Maria where she lay in the minivan. He looked carefully at his daughter's face.
Oh, thank goodness. She hasn't gone symptomatic.
Mr. Osawa, why aren't people being allowed into the laboratory?
Osawa tilted his head.
They're not?
Tateno explained what the guard had said.
That's ridiculous.
Osawa immediately called the security guard on the intercom. He got the same story.
You've got to be kidding me.
Osawa raged.
I'm the lab director here.
But the security guard wasn't hearing it.
I'm sorry, sir. These orders came from Mr. Makino, the douchebag.
No. So am I just supposed to sit out here and watch my daughter die?
Tateno racked his brain for other ideas. Maybe they'd have to climb the gate and break their way in. Then over the intercom, they heard the sound of a phone ringing in the security room. The security guard answered it without muting the intercom speaker. His voice was faintly audible. He sounded rather deferential. Who in the world could he be talking to? Oh. Before Tateno could muse further, the gate suddenly opened. Ooh, movie scene.
Huh? Why?
Huh? Why?
Tateno and Osawa looked at one another in surprise.
I have a message for Director Osawa from Mr. Makino, the douchebag.
Security guard said.
From Makino?
Osawa huddled over to the intercom and had a brief sotto voce exchange with the guard. I don't speak Italian.
What was all that about?
Tateno asked. Oh my god! Oh yeah! Go I! Woo!
Huh. It would seem that my wife was able to pull some strings for us.
After Osawa left home, I had a change of heart. Even if it meant losing everything, she decided she wanted to save Maria's life. Although Maria was not Ai's real daughter, it turned out the time they spent living together had sowed the first seeds of a familial bond. So she wasn't completely heartless, which is really nice. Osawa smiled uncomfortably. Tateno didn't have time to wonder what that might mean.
Has the lock been open for us as well?
He asked. The smile disappeared from Osawa's face.
No, she wasn't able to do anything about the final layer of security.
I see. Well, let's regroup inside for now.
Oh, that was Tateno? God damn it.
Very well.
Osawa said.
By the way, who's going to be hacking the password?
I am. Kanan replied.
Ah, so you're Kanan. We should get you to the laboratory then.
Yes, you should. Osawa began to lead the way inside. Kanan followed. Kanan really was Alphard. Tateno couldn't let her into that lab. Without getting that lock open, there was no way of getting Maria the antiviral she needed to survive. It was the right call. Should she still pretend to be in the dark and let Kanan try to hack the password? I think we have to wait for Stanley. They couldn't go anywhere until Stanley got there. Tateno knew exactly what he needed to do.
What's the matter?
Oh, that's Osawa.
What's the matter?
Osawa turned and cast a look of confusion back at Tateno and Kanan, both of whom had stopped in their tracks. Seriously, yeah, I am so mad about being fooled too.
Well, we'll wait out here.
Tateno said.
But, I mean, isn't Kanan going to hack the password? There's been a slight change of plans. Go ahead and wait for us at the lab, Director. Hi. All right. But we don't have much time before Maria develops symptoms. I'll be inside. Please don't keep me waiting too long.
With Maria in his arms and a worried look on his face, Osawa hurried through the gate and disappeared from view.
What do you think you're doing?
Kanan asked, stiffening as Tateno nudged the barrel of his gun against her spine.
You're Alphard, aren't you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's no use trying to play dumb. Stanley found proof.
Before he finished speaking, Kanan seemed to disappear from view. She's too powerful. She cartwheeled away at blinding speed, too quick for Tateno to keep a beat on her. By the time she'd righted herself, she'd already drawn a gun of her own. Abruptly, he found himself facing her in a stare down, weapons aimed at one another. Then Kanan's phone rang and she reached to answer it.
Don't move!
Tateno roared.
Did you forget the plan?
Oh, I'm sorry, he's saying that.
Did you forget the plan? That might be a Tomy calling.
Oh no, that's her saying it, sorry.
Did you forget the plan? That might be a Tomy calling.
I don't care. Don't you move!
If Kanan really was Alphard, the whole plan might be a sham. Tateno get the barrel of his gun squarely on its mark. Kanan let out a little sigh.
Have you considered that Stanley might be lying to you?
Yes, it's possible. But I need to make sure we avoid a worst-case scenario.
Oh, if you don't let me into the lab, who's going to hack the password?
We've got your little decoy. My friends will get the fake Alphard to cough up the password.
Once her phone had stopped ringing, Kanan sighed again.
And what about Stanley, then?
Back to Stanley. Ah! That's why they didn't pick up the phone. Oh my god. Oh wow, he's called Jack now. Interesting. Alright, let's get back to Stanley. Alright, now we have to see this side of the conversation from Stanley's perspective.
Listen carefully. Your life may depend on it.
He said as soon as Tateno picked up, he knew that the detective wouldn't be able to respond openly, since Alphard was right there with him. On the spur of the moment, Stanley devised a simple code for how he should answer yes or no. He told Tateno to respond with, "That's right" to mean yes, and "will do" to mean no. There was no time for anything more complex. Right now, Stanley just needed to stop Alphard from getting into the lab. He quickly explained his suspicions about Kanan. Tateno sounded distinctly unnerved.
At any rate,
Stanley said,
y'all need to find a way to turn back without her realizing what's going on. Will do.
Tateno replied. So he's gonna head to the laboratory, despite Stanley's instructions.
Saving Maria is your top priority, isn't it? That's right.
The detective's affirmation was firm.
Alright then. Guess I'll have to head that way myself. In the meantime, do not let her inside that lab. That's right.
Tateno was no match for Alphard. If she figured out what was going on, she'd probably kill him on the spot. Reassurance or encouragement would be meaningless right now. Instead, Stanley left Tateno with one final warning.
Just keep Maria safe. That's your job.
Tateno hung up without saying anything. The area around Dogenzaka was in disarray. The government had declared a state of high alert. Hopefully that's the right answer. Modern-day Japan lacks both the infrastructure and the legal framework to properly deal with a large-scale bioterrorist threat. Coordination between the police, Japan's self-defense force, health centers, and so forth would be a monumental task. In all likelihood, if a bioweapon were ever unleashed there, the target site would fall into chaos. And people on the streets were milling around uneasily, unsure what was going on. The main roads had been blocked off, and automobiles and motorcycles were at a standstill. Some vehicles had overturned on the curb. An apparent attempt to circumvent the blockade. Any moment now, Kana's team would be putting their plan into action at the Scramble. Stanley wasn't sure who they might have gotten to help, but Kana was certain to put them to good use.
Please, stay safe. Safe. Don't you dare die on me.
Oh, that was Stanley.
Please stay safe. Don't you dare die on me.
Stanley prayed silently as he darted underneath the railway overpass. He made it to his car, still parked on the roadside, unfortunately beyond the blocked-off area. Jumping in, he sped towards the laboratory. And of course, he gets to keep out. God damn it. Oh, that keep out disappeared. Okay, let's see. And what about Stanley then? Is he on his way here? Oh, that's right. We never had a keep out. Oh, I know. We can do it now. We can go back to Stanley. Okay, that for whatever reason that unlocked the jump. I don't know why we needed to see that. I guess I made the right choice. Okay, let's see. Let's do it. As he drove along, Stanley again tried to deduce Alphard's plan of action. If Alphard herself was on the way to the lab now, then what was the objective of the fake who had been sent to the Scramble? To get Atomi's blood. To get Atomi's blood. Alphard still haven't gotten her hands on that. That must be what she'd proposed the exchange. No, Stanley still sensed he was jumping to the wrong conclusion. It's too easy, too obvious. Nothing was really as it seemed. Atomi's blood wasn't the only means to obtain the antiviral. Oh, that's right. God damn it. Alphard was on the way to the lab right now. As long as she was able to gain entry, she'd be able to get her hands on the antiviral there. That means the negotiations down at the Scramble were just a scheme for buying time? That didn't seem quite right.
Ha-ha!
Stanley suddenly grunted aloud. He just realized what Alphard had hoped to accomplish at the Scramble. Alphard had been careful to wipe out almost everyone she'd associated with in the past. That was precisely why all of her defining characteristics, such as age and sex and nationality, had been unknown. It was unthinkable that she'd allow this decoy, almost certainly knew who she really was, to stay alive. And since Atomi carried the antiviral in her body, Alphard likely wanted to get rid of her as well. In all likelihood, the terrorist mastermind was planning to steal the antiviral from the lab. But as long as some of it remained in Atomi's bloodstream, she wouldn't have a monopoly on it. By arranging for Atomi and the decoy to meet, she could eliminate them both at the same time. That's what her objective was. The question was how. Beginning with their bombings in Chicago, Alphard made frequent use of remote-controlled explosives. It was likely she'd opt for something similar here as well. But she wasn't going to be at the scramble herself. So how in the world was she going to trigger the explosion? Was there some clue to be found in something she said or done earlier?
Think! Try to remember! Think! Try to remember!
If he didn't do something, everyone at the scramble was probably going to die. Then as he desperately racked his brain, he remembered something Kanan had said. It had been while they were at the scene of the minivan explosion together. He said he had heard a cell phone ringtone at the time of the explosion.
Oh. He'd said he'd heard a cell phone ringtone at the time of the explosion. Not sure if that's significant, though.
Stanley recalled the recent exchange between Alphard and Hitomi. The two had called each other's cell phones. Alphard hadn't really been checking to make sure she had the right number. She'd been checking to make sure Hitomi hadn't changed her ringtone. Oh my god. That was it. The bomb was set to detonate in response to a specific piece of music. Really? Damn. Oh my god. And the ringtone on Hitomi's phone was the trigger. Where could the bomb be hidden then? Stanley didn't have the time to think. Was it in the statue of Hachiko? He needed to alert Kano and the others right away. As he pulled out the phone again, he recalled the map of the stakeout positions. Kano would probably be right next to the decoy Alphard. It might be a mistake to call him, under the circumstances. Maybe he couldn't risk calling Kano, but he could call Achi. Stanley dialed Achiendo's number.
Please, don't let me be too late!
He muttered to himself as he waited for the call to connect. But although he called repeatedly, Achi still didn't pick up. Was he already too late? Stanley dreaded the answer to that question. Are we gonna get kept out again? Yeah. Everything's going to 1905. Okay, the only one that we don't have at 1905 is... Hey, let's get to Tateno there. Okay. Is he on his way here?
Who knows?
Tateno said. At that, Kanan lowered her gun. She seemed disturbingly full of confidence. Kanan flipped open her cell phone.
Who do you think you're calling?
Tateno adjusted his aim, pointing his gun at the young woman's head. Look, I'm just gonna call her Tomi and have her clear up these suspicions you have about me. We don't have time for this right now. Wouldn't you agree? Kanan stared back at Tateno, cell phone in hand, waiting for his reply.
It doesn't matter what Hitomi says. I trust my own judgment.
Oh, your own judgment, huh? And is that always correct? Have you ever heard that song, Detective? It's quite a lovely melody. I should play it for you sometime.
Shut up.
Kanan began punching in numbers. She never took her eyes off Tateno as she waited for Hitomi to pick up. She's not answering. Kanan hung up and tried calling again. It's me. It looked like she'd gotten through this time. That detective doesn't trust me. Apparently thinks I'm Alphard, not Kanan. After a few moments, Kanan held the phone out to Tateno. Here. Hitomi says I'm definitely Kanan. Tateno didn't reach out for the phone. Instead, he advanced on Kanan with his gun still in its mark.
This is a farce!
Tateno spat.
Hitomi's words don't mean a thing. You might be Kanan to her, but you aren't to me. I don't even know if there's a real person named Kanan in the first place. So maybe you're Kanan and you're Alphard.
Kanan shook her head, then put her phone away.
If you're really Alphard, then you don't need to actually hack the password.
Tateno said.
I'm guessing you've already gotten it from Tanaka, which means you'll be able to get your hands on the antiviral as soon as you get into that lab.
Kanan didn't so much as flinch.
The only thing stopping you is the antiviral still in Hitomi Osawa's body. Possessing the antiviral and having a monopoly on it are two very different things. You want to eliminate Hitomi. That's why you lured her down to the scramble. Am I wrong?
If that's true, then how am I planning on getting rid of her? Using this so-called substitute Alphard or something?
Yes, that's right.
Tateno couldn't be certain, but he couldn't think of any other way. Kanan let out a laugh. You don't know the first thing about Alphard, she said. Alphard keeps the outlines of his plans blurred, so that his deliberate actions just get lumped in with the coincidences. That's the crux of all his plans. That's how he's able to pull off his schemes by himself. He'd never solicit help from a third party. The words seemed like they were Kanan's, but also seemed like they were Alphard's. Whatever the case, Tateno had to let Kanan know that Hitomi was in danger. With his gun still at the ready, he got out his phone and called the detective. But the phone rang several times and nobody answered. Eventually, he had no choice but to hang up. They must have been in the middle of a confrontation on the other end. For now, Tateno could only pray that Kanan and the others would be able to handle whatever threat they were up against.
I am not letting you in there.
At that, Kanan let out a faint chuckle. In that case, I'm going to have to eliminate you. Even without her gun raised, she still radiated intimidation. Tateno might have had her at gunpoint, but he could feel the threat of her presence like a gathering storm.
Eliminate me?
He said, doing his best to mask any sign of weakness.
You're the one who doesn't have your gun ready.
I don't need a gun.
Oh my god!
I don't need my gun, Kanan said simply.
And why's that?
Because you can't shoot me.
What's that supposed to mean?
Kanan glared sharply at Tateno. Her look pierced him like a blade. Then she quirked an unsettling smile and took a step closer to him.
Don't move,
He warned, Tateno said. And we gotta keep our guard up.
Try anything funny and you'll regret it. And I'll make sure you regret it.
He kept his gun trained on the center of her chest.
You can't shoot me. I really should play that song for you. It's quite lovely. Maybe at your funeral.
Kanan took another step closer.
You're still traumatized from that time you let your friend's wife die.
How? How do you know about that?
Tateno was shaking now, his aim wavering, probably from Achi's father.
Oh, I heard you blabbering with the younger detectives on that rooftop.
That was right, she had been there.
Now, let's test my theory out.
Kanan pointed her index finger at her own heart.
If you think I'm outfought, then shoot me. Right here.
Huh?
Damn. Oh my god. The corner of her mouth twisted up.
You can't do it, can you?
Tateno's gun hand shook all the more.
You're afraid to pull the trigger.
It was as if her words were a spell that she was casting over him. Damn, I definitely gave the right voice choice here.
You can hardly even stand the thought of pointing your gun at someone.
Tateno shook his head violently back and forth, but he couldn't get Kanan's words out of his head.
Just keep Maria safe. That's her job.
I think I did the right choice there. Oh, no. That's what Stanley had said. And he was right. Don't hesitate.
Don't think.
This was Alfard, a sadistic terrorist. He just needed to trust himself and pull the trigger.
Pull it!
There was a horrid, visceral sound. Oh, damn! Gastric fluid rushed up to Tateno's throat and he pinched forward on his hands and knees and vomited on the spot. Sensation of pulling the trigger. The recoil in the wake of the shot. It was exactly as it had been all those years ago. He never wanted to fire a gun again. At this point, he'd probably never be able to. Ooh, I probably made the wrong choice as Stanley.
Where were you even aiming?
The voice had come from right in front of him.
Wrong choice, bucko.
He looked up to see Kanan standing right there. His heart began hammering like mad. This was the end. He braced himself for oblivion, even as his body cried out to survive. There we go. There was the dull roar of a gunshot, and then silence. I made the wrong choice. Yep. Damn it. Okay. And that choice was at Stanley. No, that wasn't. I don't think that. Oh, that was the correct one for Stanley? Never mind. Really? Oh, okay. I really thought I said the wrong thing at Stanley. Okay. Oh my god, okay. Thank you for telling me that. Oh my god, well I think, damn. I think next time we gotta save for the ending of the main story at the very least. Because I don't want to get caught in the middle of a stream, in the middle of the suspense. My god, this has been so fucking amazing. You guys! Oh my god! I love this story! I fucking love it. Seriously. Oh my god, thank you for suggesting it. Next time, it looks like the finale of the main story of 428. I don't know how long the post-game would be. I wonder if we'll ever get to see the real Kanan. Oh my god. Ah, jeez. Sunday. Oh, not Sunday. Friday. And Thursday is the freaking finale of, Thursday is the finale of Archinelico 2. So, oh my god. G-chan, it's my shipping logic. It's never completely wrong. Oh my god. Until next time, I will say, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. You're all the sweetest of hearts. See ya.